What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the incredible support of my patrons and channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers War for Cybertron Quintesson Pit of Judgment. Originally slated, I believe, to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, when that convention was canceled, it was moved to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and an absolutely gorgeous one at that. For the package, absolutely fantastic. Come around to take a look at it. You can see that it is done up to homage that pit scene that we saw in the original 1986 Transformer movie. The back section here has absolutely gorgeous art of the Quintesson right there, presiding over the Pit of Judgment. Absolutely great. I love it. You got the nice Transformers movie logo right down there, Hasbro, all that kind of stuff. Come around here to the side here, you can see that it's done up to, again, kind of look like that holding area, and then you come to the front and it's all laid out. This is definitely a set that I can see people keeping in package because you have it all laid out beautifully. It's done to replicate that scene, which is absolutely fantastic. I love it, but I'm not going to leave it in the box. So without further ado, let's get it out here and see how cool it actually is. And here we have the new Transformers War for Cybertron Quintesson Pit of Judgment opened up and out of its packaging. But as you can see, you can slide the internal section out, which allows you to still basically have a diorama. I wish you could open it up a little bit more to have a little bit more of an open look for it, but it still looks really cool like this. The other thing is, I wish it was a little bit bigger because it's kind of crammed in here, and it looks a little bit cramped. If it was extended out a little bit more, you could have the guys on the side a little bit more, and I think it would look better. But I still absolutely love it. I'm not going to use it in my display, but an absolute wonderful set just in general. Hasbro, time and time again, has done a really good job when they're giving us like San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, making the package really stand out. They've always really very much impressed me with that attention to detail for the most part. And one of the aspects that's really cool about this set is it utilizes a lot of different elements, be it remolded pieces, repainted pieces, or completely new pieces. This set pretty much has it all. Starting off first with the Sharkticon. This is absolutely fantastic. The Sharkticon in general has always been a favorite of mine. I have 3 of the regular one, and bringing in the regular one, you can see that every bit on here, except for maybe the eyes, has been completely recolored. What you have here is a bit more of a cartoon accurate representation of them from the film. This has more of that G1 toy look. So again, I really love it. And the fact that I already have 3 of these, I don't mind adding another one because it's like I can say this one is Gnaw, whereas these ones are just like generic Sharkticon. So he's like the leader of the Sharkticons. But absolutely terrific. You can see that the main gray plastic has been giving this a little bit of a green sort of look to it. The various limbs, like the arms, the legs here, or the upper part of the legs, the fin here, you can see the tail as well, which will become his little mace weapon, have been muted down. Instead of this more vibrant blue color, it's a little bit more dulled down. You can see that that gray plastic, again, for the lower section, has that little greenish tint on it. The teeth have a blue tinge to it, whereas these were just yellow, which that looks really nice. And then I like how around the mouth itself, instead of just this purple and pink, they have a nice uniformed metallic light purple. I think that looks gorgeous. Like I said, in terms of the overall look, it really seems like the only thing that's the same are the eyes. Now, because I have covered this before, I'm going to skip the transformation on this guy. But using that good old-fashioned Optibotimus movie magic, we're going to go from him looking like this to looking like this. And you can see that that same color thing kind of comes across here, obviously. But I do really like the way that the new one looks. I just think that it has a cooler sort of appearance to it. The slightly darker gray plastic, the fact that the teeth are painted blue now. You got the pink on the original one, and then down here on the thighs, I like the metallic purple there and then the blue there. I also really like how they got the metallic purple down here on the feet. I just think that in general, it's a better look. I really do think. Again, both of them are really cool, and I don't mind whatsoever having a new one. This guy just really does have a very neat look to him. Same articulation as before. You got the little swivel right here, ball joints. for the shoulders. You got the shoulder or elbow ball joint as well. I do wish that they could have made a little bit deeper of a cut right there so you can get that to go more flush, but it is what it is. The hips have ball joints, and then you got a hinge for the knee itself. So there is your new Sharkticon, who I'm just going to call Gnaw from now on. That's who that is. To me, that's Gnaw. For a couple new pieces, we do get for the very first time the Quintesson Prosecutor. Now, this guy is tiny. He's much smaller than I kind of wish he was, but I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. And with the general scale of these figures, I think that this works okay. Detail-wise is phenomenal. You got his tentacles kind of flailing out there. Great silver paint on the head. Extra detail throughout the entire thing. The body looks good. One thing that's weird, though, is his head. It just detaches. It doesn't stay in there all that well. Oh, I guess when you push it in there. I mean, but it falling out is kind of annoying to me. So you drop it entirely, but yeah, you know, it's okay. I also kind of wish that they made his arms able to rotate. They can't. They're all locked into place, but that's all right. I also don't really like this. I wish, and it's something that I have a problem with the regular Quintesson. I wish that this was a little bit longer to have him look like he's more elevated by the little energy effect there. But all in all, absolutely great detail. Really nice paint. You got some nice red in the eyes. Like I said, you got some extra green detail in there. Come around to the back, you got some nice added detail in there as well. But as I said, this is the first time that we ever got an official prosecutor from Hasbro. Now, we have gotten a third-party one some time ago, and I'm going to bring that in. This was made by Impossible Toys. And I've had these for a number of years. I've always kept them with my Masterpiece figures because I feel like they scale better with the Masterpiece figures. This I definitely think works good, but I mean, you could like rotate these arms, his head can move around, and you can see what I was talking about. I like the longer energy effect there. So I wish that they utilize something like that with this. At least make his arms rotate. That would have been pretty nice. But this was all basically one piece except for this energy section, which is glued on there. But I love the way that guy looks. Super cool, and it's really nice to finally get an official one of those. We also do get, for the first time, a Kranix figure. Kranix and Arbalest were the first robots that we kind of saw in the Transformers movie. They're walking around, they're on Lithone, which is their plan. I think I'm saying that right. I never could remember how to say that name. Kranix, though, is the one like, spare me this mockery of justice. And then he goes down and dies. Now, there's a controversy on whether or not the other Lithone that we see die at that time is Arbalest. People say that he is, but he doesn't really look the same, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, we also got, and I don't have it with me here anymore because I did sell it because I knew I was going to be getting this, but we did get a Kranix from those folks at Impossible Toys as well. But again, it was much bigger. It was, you know, I mean, in terms of the size, he was like that big. So, but still nice detail on this guy. If I can come in and get a better look at him, if it'll focus. Sorry, it's using my iPhone doesn't like focusing properly, but he's tiny. And unfortunately, there is no articulation in this at all. It's all just a static piece, but great sculpted in detail. You can see some nice molding and everything through the entire body. The paint is limited on them, but it's sufficient. I think that it looks pretty solid, I would say. And again, it's really nice to finally get an official Kranix figure. That is literally something I never expected to get. Now we come to the Bailiff, which is a remolded figure. This guy has been remolded from the Alicon that is kind of floating around. The Alicon and the Quintesson I'm eventually going to get, but this is a nice one to have as well. The weapon here, I believe, is completely new, so getting this out, it comes in two sections. You have to kind of plug those in like that and then attach that to the bottom to get him to hold it, which that's perfectly fine. I think that's cool, but getting that out of the way, overall really very nice on this guy. Now, I because I don't have that Alicon yet, I don't really know entirely what is different between the two. I know that the head is different. The color's obviously different. I don't necessarily remember him having shoulder bits like this. But this guy's really cool looking as well. I like the darker olive color of the green. That looks really nice. The head sculpt on there is really very sharp. You can see like on the inside here, he's got like little teeth there. That's really cool. It's weird starting with a Transformer in the robot mode, but this is how he came packaged, and I'll transform him here in a bit. But you also do have this weapon. This plugs into his butt section, so you can plug that in there, and he can walk around carrying that as well, like that, I guess, however you want to do it. So you do have that, and then it just plugs right back up underneath there, get you in there. So you do have that, and it moves around a little bit. So you got weapon storage for him if you're so inclined. And then this, like I said, I think that's a new piece, but this is really nice. I do like him. Now, articulation-wise for him, the head is on a ball joint. You get it moving up and down. It is a little bit loose. It's not floppy or anything, but I don't know if it's necessarily meant to be that loose. You do have a swivel hinge in and out. Not fully. It only goes that far. You have a hinge right here. You got a swivel. You got swivels at the wrist. Anything here at the waist? Oh, yeah. Waist rotation. That's there. Forward and back ball joint. Oh no, those are pins and swivels and stuff. So full range of motion there. You got a swivel at the upper part of the thigh, bends at the knee, ankle tilt, forward and back motion. And then again, I love when you got that tilt where you can see that you got sections that come out that fill in that gap. That's really very, very cool. Now for his transformation, just kind of lining all, and I just love the fact that he's got a giant tail here in the back. I mean, that's so cool. So we're going to bring these arms up like so, and these are going to tab in on the sides of his body. You got little slots right inside there. So just bring that up and lock those in on both sides right there. You kind of rotate those around, spin those all the way to that side like that. Come around here to the back section. You can take this tail, and this is going to lift up like so. Just kind of get that out of the way. Come back around here, lift this piece up, and then take the entire waist, rotate that around just like that, and take his head here, and you're gonna tuck this down just like that, and push these little bits down, spin this around, get this all the way up, and then this section here is going to rotate around like so. Then bring this all the way back and around, and let's see, or bring this up, bring this all the way back, and then you got little posts and slots right here. You're going to just lock that in right there on that side. You can play with this mouth here, and however you want, you can leave it open if you so desire. Bring these up, and then bend him down at the knees. So it's going to be like that, kind of keeping him on a squat sort of pose like so, and then just kind of position things how you want with like the ankles and everything, and then bring these pieces down and around, and you got his little arms. And you can take this, set this. If you really wanted to, for weapon storage, you can connect these and then come around to the back section here. And then you can slot this. Where does this go? It goes on here somewhere. And you got all these different like slots and stuff. So I don't know. Slot that right there on the side, because you got little nubs right here, and then you got little a little post right here that you can just plug that in just like that. So you got weapon storage for them. But there's your bailiff. Again, you can play with these legs how you want. I mean, just kind of position them any which way, but absolutely fantastic on this. Again, I can't wait to get the Alicon. That's going to be fun. But this guy looks cool. Again, I really like the color on him. Articulated mouth and everything. You got all that. These arms are a little bit gimpy, obviously, but there's really not much that you can do with them. It is what it is. I mean, they're okay. They're just going to hang out there. They're little T-Rex arms. His legs are basically the same legs from the robot mode. So not a lot really is going on with this guy, but he's still fun and cool looking. I do dig him a lot. So there are all the little minor pieces. You got the Bailiff, Kranix, the Sharkticon that I'm calling Gnaw, and of course the Prosecutor. And the main event is this guy, the Quintesson. Now, getting this out of the way, bringing this guy center stage and putting these guys here to the back. This is the centerpiece, as I said. And this guy really is the star of this entire set. He is fantastic. Now, much like a lot of the other stuff here, we did get a third-party representation of him some time ago. And here that is. You can see that a little bit smaller, obviously, but one thing that I do like is, again, the longer stand on him. But I feel like the shape in general is better with what Hasbro has done. It's a much better representation in terms of the overall kind of proportions. The only part about this guy that I really think is far superior are the tentacle arm things. You can see that they hang down, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's got a longer base. But they just kind of hang down, and that looks a little bit better, as opposed to this. They spread out a little bit, and I don't like it nearly as much, I don't think. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just, like I said, I like the longer ones kind of drooping down a little better. But he is really very nicely done. Now, he does transform. I'm going to set him off here. This is his little throne. We've seen the Quintessons sitting on him a couple different times. But it's just, this little thing. But they did decide to make this transformable, which isn't bad, in my opinion. I'm never going to display it like that. But he does have a little bit of a base mode. So you're going to open this up and kind of set this down. You can see that he's got a little attachment point section here and then also here. You can attach this to any of the city bases or anything like that. And then this is going to be like a little bit of a ramp. So we're going to set that off to the side. But coming into the Quintesson himself, really spectacular. I really love the way that it looks. The only thing, like I said, that's a little bit off-putting would be these. If they could dangle a little bit more down like that, I'd be happy with it. But as it is, when you put that down, they just kind of spread out, like I said. It does have a hinge point right here at the upper section, so you can kind of articulate him a little bit. That comes in handy with his one accessory, which is a little, I was going to call it a gun, but I think that this is meant to replicate the little welding torch that he used when he brought Optimus Prime back to life. And you can see any of the figures can hold it. It's got a handle, but it's got a little hole right here. And all of his tentacles have these little posts that's a little bit tricky to get them inside there. Let me try and do all this, and you can't even see what I'm doing. But bring this in, and that's just going to push in there. And it doesn't like going in very well. So come on. Get in there. There we are. So you can do that. And then again, you can articulate this up where he's going to kind of be holding it upwards, which is nice. But I feel like over time, that's going to just bring that down. But I like the fact that you have that incorporated in it. That's really cool. And all the tentacles have the little posts on there so you can have them attached to anything. This weapon here can store in the city mode, I guess. You just put that underneath there. If you didn't want to use it. And again, this is going to be a bit of a ramp section here, so that can just fit underneath there if you want. He does have the little bluish translucent energy effect. That is different than the regular retail release. I think the retail release one is a clear color. I do like the bluish color on there more. And then I want to say that the coloring here is a little bit lighter than that regular retail release. So again, you can have multiples of these and have them be different characters, which I think is great. He's got all 5 different faces. One thing that's nice is the instructions actually do name them. For example, this is Death. This is, let me look, I always kind of forget. This is Wit. Come around to this side here. This is Doubt. The next one is going to be Wrath. And then we have Wisdom. Now, what's cool is some of them actually have articulated mouths. So Death, you can open up his mouth and you can execute him or whatever. Let's see. Wit, his mouth does not move. Neither does Doubt's, but Wrath's does move, which is nice. And then the last one here being Wisdom also can move. That's cool. I like the fact that they include that and also give us names. The other thing that's really cool is you got this little lever right here on the back of them. This is going to be the front. When you move it, it allows you to rotate the faces around. I think that is fantastic. Kind of give it a good hard one, and they really spin. Absolutely love that, because when the different personalities would want to talk, the face would, oh, that moved. The face would rotate around to whoever was talking. Now, it doesn't always have a perfect rotation. For the most part, it's pretty decent, but it does kind of go back and forth every now and then. You can do just one click if you wanted to go individually, or like I said, do a good hard one, and you get more of a spin. I love the fact that they included that little gimmick. That is cool. And it's a gimmick that works. It doesn't, getting these out of the way, it doesn't interfere with the figure itself, which I think is amazing. Good detail throughout the entire thing. That doesn't really look all that ugly, so I'm happy with that. But like I said, he does have a transformation gimmick. So first what you're going to do is slide his head out. He does, this does separate. He does have this. Now, the regular retail one comes with it, but this one makes a lot more sense. You can also, if you wanted to, on the inside here, you can store his gun as well. So if you wanted to put that and then have that just pegs together. If you wanted to store that, you could do that very easily. But I feel like the regular version, I mean, you're going to have to use like a Titan Master or something like that. But you can take Knaak and you can put him in there. That's really, really cool. And then you got the little post. Oh, actually, it's upside down. So we're going to put him here and stick him inside. And then, like I said, you're going to put this little piece right here. And there's that. So now to transform this little guy, you can take this piece off if you want to. You got a little lever here in the back. That's going to pull it away, and then you can separate that and then do whatever you want with this thing, I guess. I mean, there's a little post right here. There's double posts, so you can plug that in there. So set that there like that. And then this, you're going to want to take all of these faces and lift them up just like that. They lock in there fairly decently. Again, lock all that up just like that. Just, again, just lift those all the way up just like so. And then these pieces all angle down. One section here is going to have a door bit. You can bring all of these down. You got a little double hinge thing here. Yeah, double hinge that down. Double hinge that down. Do that on all of these little guys. And then I guess you can put these through here. Just like that. And now you have like a bit of a stand for them. And then you're going to be able to take this and connect this here. If I can. Come on. Here, let's see. Come on, lock. Oh, that's really stiff. Come on. There we go. All right, so now you have something like that with, like I said, a little bit of a base sort of thing, and this little guy kind of is like a little ramp. I mean, I guess that's cool that they're including some kind of, like I said, base with this whole thing. I'm not going to really care that much about this. I don't have any interest in this at all. I don't even know what you can really do with this. And I guess just set it up there or something. I don't know. But I just, like I said, it's cool that they put something in it. I don't think it's necessary, though, to be totally honest. But I can appreciate that they make something that normally doesn't transform, because people complain when Transformers don't transform. But I love the fact that they got this to kind of look like the chair that they sit in often. This little piece here, I think it's cool that they turn that into a little bit of a cell thing. So, and then you just put that right back there. And then all of these pieces just extend back up. Lock in. like so, like so, like so, and then these come down and these will clip into place as well. Give that a good push on them. Did that one? Yeah, there we go. And then again, you got a front and back with this. This little knob section here is the back, so make sure that you put that towards the back section here. That just plugs in, locks into place, and then you can take his head, put that back in. And absolutely terrific set. And again, you can put that in there. He's got his little throne. Absolutely a wonderful, I always seem to put him on death. There we go. Let's go Wrath this time, just for the heck of it. Super amazing. Super amazing. It is really very unfortunate that it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It was going to be probably more readily available, and then they would probably have sold more on Hasbro Pulse. But this is still a very cool set, and I love the fact that they gave it to us. It's something unique. The packaging is wonderful, and unfortunately, the worst part is that it is sold out. That is a big bummer in my opinion, because I think a lot of people would want a set like this. At a price point of around $70, I feel like it's worth it. You're getting basically a Voyager size figure, a deluxe figure, legend figure, a couple little tiny ones, and a really cool package. Everything about this is a win in my opinion, other than the availability. So fingers crossed that they're able to do something with a re-release or something, because it's unfortunate that a lot of people probably missed out on this. It is a must-have for a Transformer fan. And hopefully, some way they're able to figure out something to get this to more of us fans. But that's it, guys. There's your look at the new Quintesson Pit of Judgment. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one small thing for me. And that's just to hit that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really very much appreciate it. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. With their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. Or if you want to do the really simple thing and keep everything here on YouTube and get all sorts of perks and rewards, then all you have to do is click on that little join button right down there. And finally, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.